Today, I bring before you a new video lecture on the administration of Ranjit Singh. ये टॉपिक इन इटसेल्फ बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल टॉपिक है, लेकिन ये वीडियो लेक्चर जो है मेरे BPES पार्ट 1 स्टूडेंट्स के लिए है। बेसिकली बच्चे हम लोग आपका पेपर ऑन द सोशल साइंसेज में अगर आप देखोगे तो सेक्शन डी ऑफ गुरु नानक देव यूनिवर्सिटी यू हैव रंजीत सिंह, राइट। हम लोग कॉन्क्वेस्ट के ऊपर भी ऑफ कोर्स आई विल बी मेकिंग सच अ काइंड ऑफ वीडियो लेक्चर, बट आज का जो वीडियो लेक्चर है दैट इज एक्सक्लूसिवली ऑन द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ रंजीत सिंह। क्योंकि रंजीत सिंह की एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा वास्ट है, सो आई हैव डिवाइडेड दिस वीडियो लेक्चर इन 2 parts. In lecture 1, I will be talking about the central, provincial, local administration of Ranjit Singh along with his land revenue, or we can say his financial administration. In the other part, I will be talking about the judicial and the military administration. So let's start with the administration of Ranjit Singh. Right. Now it's very important to understand बच्चे कि रंजीत सिंह का पूरा एरिया जो है what was his kingdom, and it is very important to understand these rivers, river Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, and this area is known as the Sis Satluj or the south of Satluj areas. Now this is the kingdom of Ranjit Singh. अगर मैं बात करूं बच्चे उनकी एम्पायर जो है दैट एक्सटेंडेड फ्रॉम लद्दाख इन द नॉर्थ टू शिकारपुर in the south, River Satluj in the east, and Peshawar in the west. So this was the extent of his kingdom. Right? Now, so what are we going to do in part 1? As I told you, bache, I will be doing the central administration in part 1, the provincial administration, we'll do the local administration, and the financial. These 3 areas I will be covering in my part 2. So let's begin. Now this is the glimpse of the court of Ranjit Singh. All right. Now moving on to the central administration बच्चे, देखो सेंट्रल को हम केंद्रीय प्रशासन भी कहते हैं। सो सेंट्रल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के 3 इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट्स थे। नंबर 1 महाराजा हिमसेल्फ, नंबर 2 हिज मिनिस्टर्स, and number 3 his departments or the daftars. Now, let's talk about Maharaja Ranjit Singh, right? सबसे पहली बात है बच्चे, he was the head of the state, right? All the external and internal policies were framed by him. His word was law. Nobody could defy his orders. So all the civil and the military appointments were done by Maharaja himself. That means any kind of appointment in as the ministers or as commanders, that was all done by Maharaja Ranjit Singh. He was the Chief Justice of the state. He was the commander of the armed forces. He had the right to impose, withdraw, or reduce any tax. He designated his government as Sarkar-e-Khalsa and struck out the coins in the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Gobind, known as the Nanak Shahi coins. Now, what does the most eminent historian Dr. Fauja Singh writes? He says that Maharaja was a pivot, a central point around which everything revolved, anything concerning the state revolved around him. So Maharaja was the pivot around which revolved everything concerning the state. So ये तो बच्चे अगर हम इसकी बात करें, so we've talked about Maharaja. Now let's talk about his ministers. Now there were basically 5 most important ministers: the Prime Minister, right? Then is the foreign minister, then is the defense minister, the finance minister, and Deodiwala. Now prime minister. Now prime minister, what was the work of prime minister? He advised Maharaja in all the political affairs except for finance, because finance ka jo hai, we had the separate department. So obviously he advised Maharaja in all the political affairs except for finance. Now, in his absence, when Maharaja was not there, he decided all the cases, represented Maharaja in his absence. He also decided cases by holding court, and Raja Dhyan Singh held this office for a very long time. The next important office is the foreign minister. It was held for a long time by Fakir Aziuddin. Then comes the defense minister. Look, foreign minister was one, who would deal any kind of, treaties or any kind of relation with the foreign kingdoms, right? Then is the defense minister, and the third office was that of the defense minister. This was held by Mokham Chand. This office, I think, when we did the conquest, time and again we talked about Mokham Chand, we talked about Misr Diwan Chand, Hari Singh Nalwa. So all of these were once upon a time his defense ministers. Then is the finance minister, that was the fourth office, and that was held by people like Bhivani Das Dinanath. Deodiwala, also known as Sadar Deodi, the royal chamberlain, and this office was also held for some time by Dhyan Singh and later by Khushhal Singh. So ये आपके जो है पांच आपके मिनिस्टर्स हैं, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, फॉरेन मिनिस्टर, डिफेंस मिनिस्टर, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर एंड देओरीवाला, राइट। इसके बाद जो है बच्चे आपके दफ्तर हैं. लेट मी जस्ट चेंज माई पॉइंटर टू अनदर वन. Okay, now we have the दफ्तर और the departments. सबसे पहले बच्चे दफ्तर अवाब अल मल. ना इस दफ्तर का काम क्या था, जितने भी इनकम आती है अलग अलग सोर्सेज में से वो सारी इनकम का अकाउंट रखना. सो दफ्तर ए अवाब अल मल मीन्स इट केप्ट अकाउंट ऑफ ऑल द इनकम ऑफ द स्टेट फ्रॉम डिफरेंट सोर्सेज. दफ्तर ए मल, now ये भी रखते थे अकाउंट ऑफ द इनकम बट ओनली फ्रॉम वन सोर्स, दैट इज द लैंड रेवेन्यू. सो इट केप्ट अकाउंट ऑफ द लैंड रेवेन्यू रिसीव फ्रॉम वेरियस परगानास, द डिस्ट्रिक्ट और द तालुकास, स्मॉलर टाउन्स यू कैन टॉक अबाउट दैट. Then is Daftar e Tawzihiyat, it kept account of expenditure. Daftar e Muhaza, it kept account of the salaries of the army personnel and the civil servants. Daftar e Rozna में खर्च मतलब whatever was the daily expense of the Maharaja. I'm sorry, maybe I have not pronounced them correctly. I'm sorry because somehow I am not able to pronounce such Urdu words, so just excuse me for that. So one is दफ्तर अवाब अलमल, मतलब जितने भी आपके इनकम जो वेरियस सोर्सेज से आती थी उसका अकाउंट रखना. दफ्तर मल, जितना भी आपका लैंड रेवेन्यू रिसीव फ्रॉम दी परगानाज एंड तालुक्स, right? Daftar e Tawzihat, it kept the account of the expenditure. Daftar e Muhaza, account of the salaries which were given to the civil servants also, his the workers, people working under him, and also his army personnel. And Daftar e Rozna Mebha Kharch, which means आपका रोजाना का जो खर्च है, the daily expense of the Maharaj was also taken into account. Now I told you about ध्यानचंद. हम लोगों ने यहाँ पढ़ा भी था कि राजा ध्यानचंद जो है ऑब्वियसली उनके प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी रहे, कुछ देर के लिए जो है देओरीवाला भी रहे. सो दिस इज़ हाउ ही लुक्ड. इफ़ आई कैन जस्ट काइंड ऑफ elongate, but it's not getting done. Dhyan Chand, then you have the foreign minister Fakir Azuuddin, then you have Misr Diwan Chand, one of their defense ministers, then is Hari Singh Nalwa, right? So this is all that we have done in the central administration. यानी कि central के तीनों parts हमने कर लिए. One, Maharaja, ministers and दफ्तर. अब आ गए हैं बच्चे हम लोग जो है उनके प्रोविंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, यानी कि हम कहते हैं स्थानीय प्रशासन. देखो आज हमारे कंट्री का एक सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट है और हमारा कंट्री जो है इट इज़ डिवाइडेड इनटू वेरियस स्टेट्स एंड यूटीज़. उनके अपने अपने एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं. उसी तरीके से उस टाइम पर जो है इस टाइम पे प्रोविंसेस का मतलब है कि किंगडम वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू 4 प्रोविंसेस और 4 स्टेट्स और 4 सूबास, राइट. नाउ कौन से थे, एक तो है लाहौर, मुल्तान, कश्मीर और पेशावर, राइट. इनका जो हेड ऑफ द प्रोविंस है दैट वाज नोन एज नाजिम एंड ओनली ट्रस्टेड पर्सन्स वर अपॉइंटेड टू दिस ऑफिस. नॉर्मली द प्रिंसेस और special favorites of Ranjit Singh was appointed to these places. अब बच्चे नाजिम का काम क्या था? नंबर 1, to maintain peace and order in the provinces. Number two, to hear appeals in certain cases, right? And this province was further subdivided into Pargana or the district. Now, who was the head of the Pargana? He was known as the Kardar. उसका भी क्या काम था अपने district में, Pargana में, to responsible for its administration. He administered civil and criminal justice, heard appeals, maintained peace, and was in charge of the revenue collection. Now, the district was further divided into taluka, each of which had about 50 to 100 villages. The smallest unit of the administration was a village. There was a panchayat in each village. So, obviously, बच्चे villages की administration जो है, that was done by the panchayat. So, very quickly, let's just revise what we have done. Right? So, number one, Ranjit Singh divided his whole kingdom into 4 provinces: Lahore, Multan, Kashmir, and Peshawar. The head of the province was Nazim. Provinces were further subdivided into district. Head of the district was Kardar. District was further divided into taluks. The head of the taluka was a talukdar, and in the end was the smallest unit of administration, village, which was dealt with by the village panchayat, right? So हमने यही किया है. प्रोविंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है, सबसे पहले प्रोविंसेस, उसका हेड नाजिम. प्रोविंसेस आर फर्दर डिवाइडेड इनटू डिस्ट्रिक्ट, उनका हेड जो है कदार, राइट? डिस्ट्रिक्ट आगे तालुक में, एंड देन इज तालुकदार, और फिर मौजा और द विलेज, एंड दैट वाज हेडेड बाय द पंचायत. सो इस तरीके से बच्चे वी हैव डन वन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन विच आई टोल्ड यू कि इस बार हमने क्या करना है. मैंने आपसे कहा था कि मैंने कहा था कि हम लोग सेंट्रल, प्रोविंशियल, लोकल कर लेंगे. हमने तीनों कर लिए. इस पार्ट में मैं आपके साथ जो है, आई विल ऑल्सो डू दी फाइनेंशियल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड द जुडिशियल एंड द मिलिट्री एंड अबाउट द जगीर्स वी विल बी डूइंग इन पार्ट 2. Okay, so now comes your financial structure. देखो, financial structure of Ranjit Singh was quite simple. If I think about the kind of income that he would generate annually, that was close to 3 crore rupees. So सबसे बात important है बच्चे, उसके important sources of income क्या थे. सबसे पहले बचे लैंड रेवेन्यू, ठीक है. उसके बाद जो है हम लोग करेंगे जैसे कस्टम एंड ड्यूटीज, जगीर्स, then is monopolies, then income from the judicial proceedings, awabs, small cesses, taxes on the certain professions, and the lapse jagirs. ये सारे जो हैं that were the various sources of his administration. So सबसे पहले आता है लैंड रेवेन्यू. देखो, शायद आज के टाइम पे जो है लैंड रेवेन्यू डज नॉट फॉर्म अ पार्ट ऑफ द टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर, राइट? लेकिन उस टाइम पे लैंड रेवेन्यू जो है दैट वाज द प्रिंसिपल सोर्स ऑफ इनकम फॉर द स्टेट, एंड द एनुअल रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन वाज अबाउट 2 crores of rupee. हालांकि बच्चे, दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, देयर वाज नो यूनिफॉर्म रेट of the land revenue for the whole kingdom. अलग methods जो हो of assessment prevailed in each state. Now, at first you have the batai system. Now, what is batai? Batai means that the crop has been harvested. आपने उसको काट लिया है. The bundles have been made. Now, the state will claim its share in kind. वो जो आपने हार्वेस्ट करके बंडल्स बनाए हैं, अपनी गवर्नमेंट अपनी शेयर के अकॉर्डिंगली वो काइंड में जो है क्रॉप के तौर से उसको ले जाएंगे. अब this system was very good because even the peasant does not need to fear anything. Whatever, how much has he harvested, only a part of that harvest he has to pay. But what was the greatest defect of this? See, greatest defect was because a large staff had to be employed so that cultivator may not be able to remove the part of the crop before assessment. The system continued till 1823. Now, the next system was the कानकोट. कानकोट means a standing crop, which means कि आपने उसको harvest नहीं की है. Obviously, the standing crop जो है, you will estimate the land revenue on the basis of the standing crop. Now, मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इसमें क्या है? देखो, इसमें ये डिफेक्ट नहीं है कि यू नीड टू एम्प्लॉय लार्ज स्टाफ, बिकॉज आपकी फसल तो सामने ही है, आपने उसी को टैक्स करना है. बट हियर द डिफेक्ट वाज व्हाट? that it was not easy, it was not possible to make a correct estimate of the yield beforehand. So obviously, then the system started that the revenue collection was given to the highest bidder for a period ranging from about 3 to 6 years. Now, assessment was also made either on per biga or per plow, or on the basis of the well. Per biga मतलब आपके पास कितना बीघा है, right? That was a way of measuring the land. उसके basis पे आपके पास कितने plows हैं, कितने well हैं, उसके basis के ऊपर जो है taxes were charged. Now, different systems prevailed at different places. Now, एक ज़रूर बात है बच्चे कि करदार was responsible for collecting the revenue in the district, and he collected through the village headman, that is the मुकदम. Now, ये तो हो गया आपका पहला जो चीज़ है. दूसरी है आपकी customs and excise. Now that was also an important source, and तकरीबन बच्चे आपके 16 lakh rupees जो है per year it was spent on that. The duties were levied on the luxuries as well as necessities. Then number 3 are the jagirs. They were another source of income, and that yielded about 87 lakh of rupees a year. Then is your monopolies. That was again another system of income, and the most important monopoly was the salt monopoly. Then is Mohbarana, which means the income from the judicial proceedings. Awabs are the small cesses, that is some kind of tax on the tax which was levied by the state and collected with land revenue. Then there were also taxes on certain professions. There were taxes on like artisans, blacksmith, weavers. They had to pay a profession tax, right? Then the lapse जागीर. अब जागीरें क्या होती थी बच्चे? मैंने आई थिंक हम लोगों ने क्लास में भी ये डिस्कस किया था कि बेसिकली जागीर क्या थी. जागीर मीन्स अ पीस ऑफ लैंड. Now, why would I give a jagir to somebody? In lieu of a salary or in lieu of a reward. तो इसमें जागीर का मैं वो क्या करेगा जिसको भी मैंने जागीर दी है, अब इस लैंड का वो मालिक बन गया है. Either he can till or plow the land himself, of course he will, and he can sell the produce, उसको तब भी पैसे आ रहे हैं. अगर वो किसी को सबलेट देता है तो ऑब्वियसली उससे वो लैंड रेवेन्यू क्लेम कर सकता है. बट इसके बदले में ही हैज़ टू कीप अ स्मॉल आर्मी विच इफ़ द रूलर डिमांड्स कैन बी गिवन टू हिम ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ द वॉर. सो मे बी बच्चे इस टाइम पर जो है देखो लैप्स जागीर मतलब जब जो आपने जागीरें दी हैं जब उनके रूलर्स जो हैं दे डाई, और of course at that time the jagirs could not be transferred, so they were given back to Ranjit Singh. And main head, so this is about your income as we have talked. Now अब इस income के अलावा जो है बच्चे सबसे ज़्यादा खर्चा होता किस पे था? आर्मी के ऊपर, राइट? आर्मी के अलावा जो है रेस्ट ऑफ द इनकम वाज स्पेंट ऑन द सिविल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. बट इससे भी मुझे लगता है इम्पोर्टेंट ये था, it was also spent on the civil administration, yes, on the army, yes. Of course, he used to give a lot of money in charity to these religious places. He would also give money to these artists, to artisans like that. So that was also one of the areas where the money was spent. Now, this is what will be in part 1. So we've talked about, let's hurriedly talk what we have talked about. नाउ मैंने बच्चे आपको जो है पहला पॉइंट हमने एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का किया, सेंट्रल महाराजा मिनिस्टर्स एंड दफ्तर्स, राइट? महाराजा वाज द फाउंटेन हेड ऑफ ऑल द पावर. ही वाज द वन जिसमें वो लॉ भी वो बनाते थे, लॉ को एग्जीक्यूट भी करना, जुडिशियल फंक्शंस ऑल्सो. सो ही मेड द मेजर अपॉइंटमेंट्स. ही वाज द चीफ जस्टिस, ही वाज द कमांडर ऑफ द आर्म्ड फोर्सेस, एंड ही नेम्ड हिज गवर्नमेंट एज सरकार ए खालसा and struck coins in the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So Dr. Fauja, an eminent Sikh historian, he writes that Maharaja was the pivot around which revolved everything concerning the state. Then his ministers, that is the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister, Defense Minister, Finance Minister and Deoriwala. His daftars, daftar e awab al-mal, daftar e mal, daftar e tawzihat, just to keep the account of the expenditure कि कितना खर्चा हो रहा है. दफ्तर ए मुआवजा कितना आप मुआवजा मतलब कितना आप सैलरीज जो है वो दे रहे हो। दफ्तर ए रोजनामा खर्च मतलब रोजाना आपका खर्च कितना हो रहा है, दैट वाज आल्सो मेंटेन्ड। ध्यानचंद, फाकिर आजुद्दीन, मिस्टर दीवानचंद, हरी सिंह नलवा, राइट। प्रोविंशियल मैंने कह दिया बच्चे, द होल किंगडम वाज डिवाइडेड इनटू 4 प्रोविंसेस, लाहौर, मुल्तान, कश्मीर, पेशावर। Head of the province was Nazib, further divided into district, head was Qadar, further divided into Talukdar, and further into the village. Right, then we did the financial administration. Most important was the land revenue, and 2 crore of rupee was the annual collection. Batai, Kankat, or the highest bidder was given the revenue collection per bigha, per plow, or per well basis. राइट, इसके अलावा बच्चे कस्टम्स एंड एक्साइज, जागीरें, मोनोपलीज, देन इनकम फ्रॉम द जुडिशल प्रोसीडिंग्स। यहाँ पर बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है कि हम लोग आगे पढ़ेंगे भी, तो इसमें 2 टर्म्स आते हैं बच्चे, शुक्राना एंड नजराना। सो अगर आप केस जीत गए हैं तो भी आप फाइन देंगे, यू विल कॉल इट एज शुक्राना। इफ़ यू हैव लॉस्ट द केस देन यू विल गिव अनदर fine kind of a thing, right? So then the awab, small taxes on the taxes on the certain professions, and the lapsed jagis, right? So this is all I have uh, in this part. So that's what we have talked about the administration. Now the second part of this video lecture will have the judicial administration, will have the military administration, and the jagirs. So take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next part of this video.